Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to work on Moda Blockheads 5 Part 2, Block 2. This is the All-Stars block from Lisa Bonjean. I really like her patterns, so I'm really excited to get this done. I have last week's block on the wall behind me, and then we'll go through this block today. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our fabric choices. This is my fabric A, these are my fabric B, and this is my fabric C. This block is basically made up of all half square triangles and one center square, which is a smaller square. I'll put that aside for a minute. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pair up our fabrics. So we're going to put A with B, and we're going to put C with B. And we're going to make 4 of these, or 2 pair per each little section. So let me grab the paper. This is what our pattern looks like. So I'm going to do it one piece of the block at a time. So one star block at a time. I'm going to feel like it'd be easier to do it in quadrants like that rather than work across or try to do all the half square triangles for the entire project, because I feel like they'll get mixed up together and I'll forget where I'm at or how many I still need to make of each color. So I'm just going to do one little block at a time. So again, I'm going to make 2 pair of these to make 4, 2 pair of these to make 4, and then one of these guys will be the center eventually here. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these together, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch on both sides of the line. And you'll have 2 pair of these. I've already sewn a couple ahead of time just to save a little bit of time. So right now I'm only sewing 1 pair each. And then after you're done sewing all these together, you're going to cut them apart on that line you drew, which I forgot to mention, to draw a line corner to corner on the backs of your fabrics. We're going to cut those apart on that line. And then we're going to press and trim these down to 2.5 inches square if you are doing the 12-inch size block, which is what I'm doing. If you're doing the 6-inch block, you'll have to look at your paper. I believe it's 1 inch, but or 1.5 inch, but I'm not positive because I'm not doing that size. So if you're doing the smaller ones, make sure you double check that. So I'm just going to put my pressing solution on the back of these. And then I'll get my iron board, and we'll press these, and then we'll trim them. I like to finger press them a little bit to get them to go the direction I like them to be. And then we'll give these guys a press, and then we'll trim these. Let's see. Yeah, so the 6.5 inch size block does need these to be trimmed to 1.5. The 12-inch size is 2.5, so I'm going to trim mine to 2.5. Now, you might choose to do them all at the same time for your entire block. There's a lot of half square triangles here, but if you do that, it'll go faster for sure, because you can chain piece all these and then cut them all and then press them all at the same time. So, okay. Now I'm just going to trim these down. I'm just laying that 45-degree line from my ruler onto the stitch line. I'm trimming just little bits off of each side. There we go. It does take a little bit of time to trim down this many half square triangles. That's why I did sew up a few ahead of time so we can make one of these little stars together. So after we do this one together, you'll want to make 3 additional stars to make the entire block. Okay, here we go. Got all that done. I'm going to close my rotary cutter so I don't cut myself. And we're going to lay out this block. So your top and bottom row are going to look the same. That's my top row. Your bottom row is going to be the same, just with this turned around. I already put one together. And then your middle row is going to be one of those, your solid piece or whatever your square is in the middle. So mine is this print, and then just like that. So you're making basically, if you can see this pattern with the white, a friendship star in the center of this, and we're going to make 4 of those and put them together to make the whole entire block. So let's put these rows together. A couple of you asked me what fabric line I was using from last week. I am using a new fabric line called Old Glory from Lala Boutique. It's her new fabric line. It's coming out soon. I was able to pick up an early fat quarter bundle when I was at an industry, oops, I think I just ran out of bobbin, an industry meeting in October. So that's why I have some, but it's coming out, I believe, next month if you like this fabric. I'll be right back. I'm going to change my bobbin. Okay, bobbin fixed. I sewed the rest of that seam just to make sure. And now we're going to sew this middle row. So I'm going to just put those together like that. Okay, so now I have to do is press this and then put these rows together. So I'm going to go press this and I'll be back. Okay, I've pressed the center row and I'm just going to put these rows together to make our block. And then after I put these rows together, I'll press it again. And then I'll pause to make my other 3 blocks, and then we'll come back and put those together. Put all 4 friendship stars together to make one big block. So these are sort of bulky blocks, so you might want to consider pressing open on the back after you put these rows together. I may do that. So I'll probably flip these over and open these seams up like this and press it open. So if you're not familiar with pressing open, that's all the only difference. Instead of just pressing these each direction, you're going to turn it over, open this line right here, and press that open. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because this is really bulky and I don't think it's going to lay flat. So I'm going to go ahead and press this, and then get my other blocks together, and we'll come back and join all the blocks to make the one big block. Okay, so as you can see, I've sewn my, I can almost talk, friendship stars together in pairs, so 2 and 2. Now I'm just going to join those together to make the big block. So let's get that done. Nearly there. So this block isn't hard. It does take some time though, because between sewing and trimming all those half square triangles, it took a bit. So not a hard block, just a little bit time consuming. That's a lot of half square triangles. But it's gonna be beautiful, I think. Okay. Oh, lovely. Okay, so there's our block completely done. I'm gonna press this and then we'll come back and we'll talk about this at the end. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for block number 2 of Moda Blockheads 5 part 2. Here's my block completely finished. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to put it on the wall with the other one there back behind me. So next Wednesday, block number 3, I'll see you then. I hope you enjoyed making this block. It was a little bit time consuming just because of all the half square triangles, but it's a really beautiful block, so I'm happy to have done it. All right guys, well take care and I will see you soon. Bye.